There's a certain degree of commitment and motivation, and all of these things, I think, transfer very readily to life, period. Doesn't make any difference what your career choices happen to be.
I think music is another commitment that especially teaches you discipline and responsibility, probably more so than academics, because it's more of a team environment, kind of, the group building experience.
And it's like an obvious achievement, like I need to finish this paper and then I'm done with that, whereas music isn't. If you don't work on it for a while,
then you regret.
That's one of the other interesting aspects of music, is that you have to have a long-term view. You can't just like walk in and suddenly you play great. So you have to be committed for a long period of years to get to a level where you can really get the most out of it. And you can enjoy little accomplishments along the way.
That's true. And the other thing with instruments is that, like, it's kind of like a constant struggle to find the perfect sound. Like, I don't know if you can achieve it, and that, like, even if you achieve it, that doesn't mean you're going to have it the next day. And so, like, you always have to kind of keep working at that, and so that means that every day you have kind of your own little goal that if you achieve it feels really good. Like, I love practicing when I have a good sound, and I hate practicing when I don't sound good because it's not fun.
And I says, I'm going to give you 2 F words: focus and have fun.
Bang!
You are experiencing things like learning discipline, and you're learning to be very focused on something.
You master a skill in band, and you're kind of able, like, to own something about yourself.
You're engaging something else. If you're a trumpet player, now you got a piece of plumbing in your face, and you have to figure out how you're going to connect with that.
I feel as though it takes a certain amount of dedication and persistence to get the specific sound you need to out of an instrument, out of some foreign body, and to be able to contribute a sound that could blend and sound well with a ton of other people out of this metal thing I was holding. It's always kind of cool.
With music, I found that there was a lot of, like, mental components that kind of translated a little bit as well, because you have to multitask as a musician. So you're sitting there, you're reading your notes, you're going, okay, this note corresponds with this fingering, and this, if it's staccato, I have to tongue this way, or I have to, have this sort of embouchure to make, I'm going slightly flat, I'm going slightly sharp, I'm listening to Alyssa, who's sitting next to me. And you're kind of working off of other people.
Even the students that not necessarily are the greatest academic students, who would normally not have the opportunities to feel success and to feel, look at me, I'm doing something that not everyone else does, and I'm being successful at it by being able to express themselves in that way that others can see that, well, this is not just all that I'm about, I have this whole other side.
Being able to express myself in a totally different environment rather than just academically.
Playing music is like a great way to express yourself and to get everything that's inside of you out of you.
Playing my instrument, especially on the flute, was like my biggest fear ever. Like, every time I had to play by myself, even for like 30 seconds, was like a huge accomplishment, and it made me feel really good about myself.
Our own personal self-esteem is what motivates us, is what keeps us going, is what gives us our own personal worth. You cannot develop your intelligence unless you have self-esteem.
Well, I think that music gave me a lot of confidence as well as a foundation and something to go back to. But it also is a really great kind of starting point for understanding a lot of things and people that I might not otherwise be able to relate to.
When everyone is like excited about music and we're all passionate about the same thing, and it's coming together and playing music and playing it well, like, it just feels really, really, really good.
And it is a cooperative learning environment.
But our interpretation of music in that piece is different than somebody else's, but that doesn't mean that their interpretation is wrong, which that perspective and that ability to relate to people is probably the most important thing that I learned in band.
I love seeing the people in band enjoy themselves and get the ensemble experience of contributing to something that's bigger than themselves.
When everybody sits down and starts playing and you're a part of it and it just sounds right, I think that's my favorite part.
Value I see on what we do and what the great thing is you can come in, you can sit down and play and have that great enjoyment of it and have just a wonderful time, and then be able to go back then to all the academic rigor, but know that you had this respite of time that we all got to sit down and just play this great music.
You can inspire students at any age, and particularly I think at the middle school level, that's when a lot of folks kind of really get connected with it.
I like listening to all the music.
Doing something that you love to do.
You're part of a bigger thing.
Band makes me feel
Happy.
happy.
Just playing it makes me feel happy.
Band makes me feel secure and safe. And
This makes me feel creative and full and
social.
Wow.
It makes me feel accomplished,
Warm and fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
happy,
Warm.
free.
Liberated. We're gonna keep going until we tell
I love band.